You'll know, if you know me at all, I don't do parenting or mother advice. A, because I can't stand schoolgate mums. I can't stand people who try and tell mums what to do because it's your kid. And I guess I've never been asked, not once in my whole life, to be a godparent to anyone else's child. So that's the kind of preface here, is that no one ever has thought I would be a good person to leave their kid with, even if they died. No one would choose me. So bear that in mind. But I just felt like I had to say something because I am now senior in years. And because I've made lots of the mistakes that I don't want anyone else to have to do, I just wanted to say a couple of things. Firstly, everything you're told as a mum you're supposed to do, please just disregard. Just you can nod along, especially, if someone's wearing a uniform and you think you should, or you need the person who's wearing uniform to give you access to something you need, so you have to kind of give them the time and nod along. But you don't have to do any of the stuff they say you're supposed to do. So this idea that when you give birth, there's a whole set of rules and processes and systems that your baby's supposed to fit into, that's actually all bullshit. You don't have to have your kid going to school. You don't have to. You can homeschool or not school or school later or go travelling and that be your schooling and have special permission. It is your baby. You don't have to be obligated down a whole set of pathways and procedures and tick boxes because it's your baby. That's the same with the whole breastfeeding, that whole mammary militia. Oh, you must breastfeed, get your boobs out everywhere. Oh, look at me with my massive nipples in Costa. Look how successful I am because I'm breastfeeding. Oh, please give me a break. Monkeys breastfeed. You might want to, that might be your choice. Marvellous, well done you. Oh, yes, your nipples are lovely. Or you might not, or it might not suit you, or you might be too knackered, or you might want to be at, the end of your days. For God's sake, none of the things you're being told you're supposed to do are actually real or true. It's a kind of, how some people like to believe in something, and when they like to believe it, it becomes like cultist, and it becomes a way of them surviving their own lives, is because they have so many rules and procedures, it helps them cope. It might not be for you. The second thing, I don't imagine for 1 minute these things still exist, but in my day, we were all given a red book. I can't even bring myself, this is the level of, I abhor this sort of thing. It's called a personal child health record. That's a weird name in and of itself, isn't it? Personal child health. Yeah, it's my kid, so it's personal to me. So I don't need a book, particularly not a white clean one in red. I always found that to be a bit gross as well. Just because you're going to be bleeding from every orifice doesn't mean you need a book in red. But this book here sets out it's basically a book full of how can I make parents worry. So if the book doesn't exist anymore, I imagine it's all E online, your child measurement book. Your E tells you that this is what they should be doing then. This is what they should be doing then. There is even a really, really brutal bit in this, which I cannot bear. This bit, the charty bit, does it still exist? Probably, where they measure your kid. Look at this. Makes me feel a little bit ill. They put in measurements and they track your child on the centile because you should be on the 50th centile, the medium one. You don't want to be over the... Get any of that measuring stuff, books, whatever. I don't know with the system now. Your kid doesn't need to measure a certain way. They don't need to be on a centile. It's just a group of other kids, and that's what the kind of average is. And so do you want your kid to be average? No. And maybe they won't be, and maybe they won't do developmentally at this time doing this. But what this does is stresses you out as a mum, because you think your kid should be, but they're not doing this. But they have their 13 months and they haven't made a noise yet. And golly, don't allow this kind of weird categorization of others to impose on you worries. If your kid looks vaguely happy or okay, or can sleep all right, or maybe can eat all right, whatever that is they eat, and or you're baby is like, or your child or whatever is kind of cleanish sometimes, or maybe when they go to bed and they haven't got anything wrong with them that you can see or isn't upsetting them, you're doing great. In fact, you're doing better than great. And I kind of feel fortunate because I was working like a maniac, because I was on the road continually, because I'd been left when I just gave birth to my kids, because I was running away from lots of things. I wasn't fully tuned in to all of this stuff that I now see people worrying about. But one of my daughters didn't actually make a noise or speak or anything till the age of 3. And I didn't even worry about it, probably because I was running away from lots of things, but also because I was a first-time mum and I kind of thought it would all be all right. And do you know what now? It's perfect. Well, I mean, perfect. We're all a bunch of weirdos. But I teach my kids all the time and always have done. All the best people in life are weird. You know, I've had kids with no hip joint that have been in plaster casts from neck to their feet for 6 months of their early life. One of mine didn't speak till the age of 3. One of mine wasn't supposed to make it at all or was going to commit suicide as a teen. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of extreme things, but it's all worked out just fine. It's not been perfect. We've had the odd, someone getting too much to drink and having a chunder somewhere. All of the disasters, but it's all been okay. And none of this layering of worrying would have helped in any way, which is why I've always held it at arm's length. But I also did stuff that I look back now and I was like, I would not have done that. So because I'd been left and I was a single mum, and I guess I felt like, right, I have to be everything for these children. I will make it okay. They won't know anything was missing because I will make everything all right. We did everything. Ballet, gym, had a tutor, I sent them to private school. And I'm not saying any of that. I'm not knocking anyone who does any of that. And if I had my time again, I'd do the same again. Because maybe I did a lot of that for myself to try and make myself feel better because I had been left. And I needed to repair that hole with things that didn't really repair it probably, but it made it all right and we all made it through. So it's fine. Whatever you've got to do to make it through, all I'm saying is, in hindsight, I realised that what would have been a great idea is to pack up a little van, put my kids in it, and either just take off travelling or to move out to a little tiny village and a little tiny village school and just go there. And if they weren't learning up to the standard of the grammar school or they weren't learning up to this tick box, who gave a monkey's armpit? As long as they got to play in the playground, as long as they did some sport or some dancing around or having a happy time, or they got to eat something a bit nice for lunch or had a few mates to hang out with. That would be my assessment now of how's school going or how are your kids? Because the only thing that matters is, do you know what, they're doing all right and they're quite happy. It is literally it. And I remember the whole private school thing. Oh yeah, well, Isabella does violin, piano, tap. Then she's a, captain of the hockey team. And we're so thrilled, we're so thrilled because it's just an excuse for the parent to dump on you how great and we're so we're so pleased because now so-and-so is going to join her brother at Oxford. It's fab. And great. If that's you and you've been so successful and you're measuring your life in that way, amazing for you. Ooh, I wish Arabella every good luck when you find her work experience at Daddy's firm. What I'm saying is, what really matters is none of that stuff. And all of those parents, as far as I'm concerned, I always felt this way anyway, can go to hell. And the reason I'm saying all of this isn't to have a bitch about those people or to complain about someone else or to laugh at someone who's doing ballet, tap, gym, because you do want to give your kids a shot at trying to see what they might like. One of my kids still plays the piano, which is epic at 19. One of them went swimming the other day for 20 minutes in the sea, which is epic. You know what I mean? Like, you do want to try stuff, but none of it should be done at the thought of trying to keep up or, giving them the best opportunity can be about giving yourselves as a family or as a team the best opportunity to have fun times, to have a laugh, and to try to be happy. Joy is never been written in this book or any other measurement. How joyous is your life? But joy to me should be one of the main metrics. A really good lad the other day said to me, this will bring you joy. And I was like, what a great word. Joy should be one of the main metrics. And so really, I just wanted to come here and say, don't allow others to try and give you the measurements of what joy looks like. You are your own barometer for family success, or in my case, family chaos, family disaster, family triumph, being weird, be all those things. And some days, if the only thing you manage to do is make it through the day and vaguely get everyone to bed, then you've done just great. And that was what I really wanted to say.